To everybody here on the live, let's drop it like it's hot, baby. This is Not a Saint by Hailmore. Bitcoin pumping 77,700. It was just there. Sevens, triple sevens, baby. 650 now. Can we get this pump to 78,000? Looks kind of pumpy. Some liquidations up in 79K. I'm gonna raise this music. Let's go. Let's start this countdown. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in on Bitcoin to the weekly candle close. Let's rip it. Let's rock this. Yeah. Check is this thing on. Shout out to everybody here on the lob with that EDM, baby. Let's go. Bitcoin holding 77.5. Getting a little bit of a rip. Can we continue the pump? Just like you're dancing in the studio right now. And, you know, I got an announcement to make, something that everybody wants to know. I'm wearing pants. That was timed perfectly. I had it all planned. Shout out to everybody here. Let's go. Let's break it down and see what's happening to BTC. I'm in a long right now. I was up $350. Now I'm up 193. I was down $400 today. I did go against Bitcoin. I shorted this right shoulder. It looked like it was going to dump. The daily didn't look good. I took the short. And for you know, that earlier short too that I put out was in the money here. But we ripped back up. Then I took a short here. I cut it off when we were right there. Literally right before that green pump. I really did. I got this pump. I must have been up 800. Looking for the retest off to 200. We got it. Looking like we make it a continuation here to the upside for Bitcoin. Can't tell for sure, but this is what we're going to start paying attention to as we deep dive. It's time for Bitcoin and the weekly candle close. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I don't know why I do that. All right, let's break down what's happening to Bitcoin and the weekly candle close every single Sunday night. Here with Sam Price, the crypto lifer. We break down this candle, this sweet, beautiful, amazing candle we call the weekly candle close. It has been probably one of the greatest celebrations for the weekly candle, and we just sit for a second and we think about the week. We talk about the week. Sunday night is for us to get ready. We're going to break down what we see coming, you know what I mean, with the new CPI, PPI, unemployment, whatever's coming, we're going to be ready. Is Kevin Warsh talking? Is Trump speaking? We got you. We're going to look at the addendum, you know, whatever's coming our way. And then, you know, we're going to talk about where we're going, where we've been, and we're going to kind of recollect in the week. Amazing week. This was the trade of trades. I was long on the monthly, the daily, the weekly. I did sell. I took profits. I said, except for the monthly one. I left the monthly one open. I was supposed to leave the other ones open too and let them ride. I can't see. I wanted to make thousands of dollars. It felt good. I wanted to check pay the trader. It went really well. All accounts up, everything going on. And then just the messages I got from people, been in the group for a day, you know, made my money times 10, you know, started with 150, left with 1,300, made $6,000 yesterday, paid debt off, someone wrote to me, made enough to, you know, get into a new apartment I wanted to get into, didn't have the payment, but now I do, you know, just awesome stories. Some people saying, a couple of people saying they paid off $5,000-6,000 of debt, 1,000 turned to $6,000-8,000. They were able to get out of some credit debt they were in. They really, really appreciated it. I was just like, wow, from what they learned, you know, from the everything that they learned here in the trading group. So, and sometimes you don't just learn it from me, you learn it from being in the group. There's someone that might tell you something. There's a person, you're at the right place. It's like hanging out at the right corner at the right time with the right group of people. And I attract a lot of people inside that trading group that I believe could truly help you and, you know, get you on your way. All right. Hold on. You see here. I like that better there. Okay, so let's break down what I see happening for Bitcoin. Obviously, you can see we're right at weekly resistance. Wherever you had some big candle meetings, that's going to be a major resistance for Bitcoin. And we're going to break all this down, but you can see why the weekly candle stopped right there. I mean, right there, look at it. It's exactly where it's supposed to stop. The big time frames do exactly what, it's amazing how good they are, you know? So it's almost telling us, like, we're likely maybe going to, you know, we got to reset and probably retest 73,000. This is an amazing. I think we went higher than we could. You know, if we went to 70, it would have been great. 69 would have been great, even with a pullback back to 63. Like, even if we came back here and bounced off 65, that just would have been the higher low. You're not looking for, you know, it doesn't always have to be a winner. You're looking for higher lows. You're looking for a change in trend, right? This tells us that, because we broke around these highs, these were your resistance right here. Resistance, resistance. We couldn't seem to get back above 65.5. Once we plowed through that, it was like, can you get back above 72? We whipped through that like mashed potatoes, and now here we are with the rejection at 78.5, right? Which makes perfect sense at this, Anyway, we're going to get into this too. I'm jumping it is the weekly candle close, but I want to start with the monthly. Okay, so all I want to say is thank you, everyone, for all the messages that you sent me or that you put publicly inside the trading group or even here today. Like today on the live stream this morning, someone also wrote, I made a bunch of money. Thank you, Sam. And a lot of thank yous came my way for and it's been a while. We've been slow sideways. Not many thank yous have been coming my way for the last few months. It's been tight. So it's been nice to get back into the groove of hearing great positive feedback from people and seeing that a lot of people actually did make some gains. So thank you off the bat for everyone. That's awesome. And our week was amazing. As we recollect on the week, it was an awesome week of trading. And we're all blessed to be alive and to be here for this opportunity that's coming our way. And we hung out this whole time in chop and up and down price action. And look at this, 6 months of consistent, just 10 months of consistent dumping. So congratulations if you're still here and you got a piece of that. That means you're consistent. You focused and, you nailed it. And you didn't have to get it all. Some people might have got in here and got out there. Some people got in here, got out there. Some people got in here and got out there. Some people got in here and got out there like I did. Hey, some people got the whole thing. Hey. Some people are perfect traders like me, but hey, not everybody gets, no, I'm just, but seriously. And again, I sold sometimes here. There was other trades, right? And one trade I'm still in. So maybe we can sell up here. The plan is to sell somewhere up at 118,000. That's where the sell is on that trade. Stop loss below 56, sell at 118K. Okay, so moving forward, I see this, and I've been saying it. And if you've been watching my channel, you can say, well, I have been saying that I see this as an inverted head and shoulder. Could it just continue, maybe flag out and pump amazingly? You never know. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not a psychic. Maybe it goes on a straight tear. It would be amazing. What I do know is that the monthly did break out. That's a clean breakout of the falling wedge. All right. Why I believe this is your bottom with literally why I believe it's my bottom and why I believe my bottom. Hey, what are you talking about somebody's bottom over here? No, but seriously, why I believe it's the bottom is because I'm going to show you a bunch of reasons why. All right. A bunch of different reasons why. I personally believe as a trader, it's a bottom. And I'm going to show you the indicators that I'm using that are telling me that it looks likely that we have bottom for Bitcoin, right? Well, let's see. Number one is we've come back to this deep resistance with a bit of a double bottom on the monthly, which is it's just very rare. And we've already done it. Like the green has closed next to the red. We've made a double bottom on the monthly. So right off the bat, that's a very bullish sign. We've held a support line that has been strong. We bounced off it here, 58,009. We bounced off it here. So that is a very big indication, number one, on the bigger time frames that, we're in there. Number two, when we break this trend line, we don't go back. And this is that candle, as far as I'm concerned, the same. Look how this one didn't even have to do that right shoulder. It really just kind of plowed ahead. A little bit of beautiful sideways price action. Almost, it just made like a little bit of a little bull flag here. And then just went on its way to rally further. Wow, that was beautiful. That moved from 40,000 all the way to 62. Look at that. 50% move for Bitcoin in 1 month. And look, Bitcoin went from 60 all the way to 76,000. Right? 15,000 times 4 is 60. So that's a beautiful about 26% move because it's a little over 15K. That's a beautiful move for Bitcoin. Come on now. One of the biggest candles it's ever had, really, in history. And it took more money because Bitcoin was worth more at the time. You know what I mean? 60, so it just, we have broken records. I don't think, it did say that was the most shorts that had ever been liquidated in like a 36-hour period in the history of cryptocurrency. Imagine being short. You know that a lot of trading groups had to been short. And not to be rude, whatever. I shouldn't talk like that. I love everybody. Everyone has a chance. But a lot of different people, let's just say, and people with ideas, and maybe other people follow them, had to have been short. I don't know. I don't watch literally a lot. I didn't scan the internet for what other people were saying. I work really hard, preparing, making all the different expos that I make and everything that I'm doing every day in the live stream and then the other little small pieces of content that I make all the time. So it's never ending. And I'm doing that so much that whenever I'm using the internet, I'm, using it to, and then I'm in the Discord or I'm posting something that I want the trading group to see. So I don't get to watch a lot of YouTube or see what other people are saying. But it had to have been a lot of people that were on the other side of the trade because we liquidated massive amounts of people. And to liquidate that many amount of people, there has to be a bunch of people that were short, right? So I don't know who was short, but there had to have been tons and tons and millions and billions of dollars, right? So millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people at least. So look at the bars pattern here for Bitcoin, right? I'll find it somewhere. And like this could be that candle, like just getting started over here, right? What if? And we just hit this, we hit 180,000 by February of 2029. All right. So a little under 3 years and you do a beautiful, from the lows at 60K, you do a 3X. That's 1X a year. It will be volatile, right? There'll be times where it seems unlikely, but that's Bitcoin. So yeah, you can see that we did move up, and I'm looking for a pullback in a right shoulder, really, If we continue to go, so be it. We'll see it on the smaller time frame. Somehow we'll consolidate somewhat on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and it'll help us continue the move. But for me, it would be more likely that we get some type of sideways to right shoulder here. And if this happens like this, it'll be like the great, because I've been like, dang, I've been projecting this idea since we kind of started a right shoulder there. And we got the bull div. So that moves me into the divergence, the Gaussian channel. There's so many things that I brought up on, on different channels this week too, and just talking about different things, because the way I see it, I said you cannot short this. You cannot short bullish divergence on the 2-week chart. The green R. I might get some one, then it happened here, right? And then it happened right there in 2020. Happens right there at the bottom at 2022, and then it's right here. So you see it 3 times. Every time it appears at the bottom, and then I showed you how that's not just Bitcoin, it's every asset in the world. So that's it. I mean, that's your signal to jump on into Bitcoin, right? So, again, and on the 2-week chart, it looks like it's going to look pretty crazy. Like, could look like a pretty strange inverted head and shoulder. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, and we'll keep tracking it. Wow, Bitcoin getting a bit of a pullback here now, 386. Looking more dumpy again. I thought we were going to break ourselves out of here. Now it's looking Chop City. May cut my losses and just not trade tonight. So choppy. Definitely going to lower the risk here. It's not looking amazing. Coming down quick. Can we bounce off the 200? It's kind of curving. See that? Oh, CASHCAT bounced off the bottom of the channel nicely. Nice pump for CASHCAT. Yeah. That's what we're seeing. You want to see it just kind of stay. It looks like it's going to get tight too. And that's just like, for the bigger idea. That looks good compared to the rest of the market. That looks really nice. Be buying whenever I can. Speculate and do what you got to do. And then we're back to the weekly. I mean, separated for the 21. That's a deep trough for the 21. That's like, no. That's not when I'm like, yes, let's go in. That's usually when it's a bit risky. And you got to see, I'm looking for like how the candle formed here, right? Yeah, we need to see some bottom. I mean, it's got to go. You want to see it go down a little bit at the beginning of the week. You want to see red right at 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Why? Because that means the weekly candle and the daily candle are both making a downward wick, and that's usually how green candles form, right? So right at 8 p.m., 90% of the time, you want to see a dump. If you don't dump it right at 8 p.m. and you start to pump, that could be that's like the worst sign of the, like if I'm bullish and I see his pump at 8 p.m., I'm always like, oh no. I usually sell that pump. Why? Because it's usually it's the top wick of a red candle. That's going to be that day and probably the week. See, you'll learn this the hard way, you know. Like this red candle here, pumped up for a second, got people to be like, oh, cool. But anyone if you know what I know, it would have been 8 p.m., it would have pumped, and you would have been like, oh, no. So the only thing I love and don't love about this strategy is it's so damn accurate that I get depressed when I see it. I'm not depressed, but it's like, I'm always like, I know to guard myself whenever I see a pump at 8 p.m., I'm always like, that doesn't always mean. Sometimes the candle can pump without a downward wick, but it's, you know, whenever I see that too, I'm on pins and needles. Then the candle closes green and it never wicked to the downside. It just opened and pumped straight up. They're rare candles. You don't see them a lot. Like, look, if you look in the past, this one kind of did it, but every one of them had this one did it here. It like basically never really, it made a tiny wick, but it really never, you know, at least every one of them had at least some type of price action on that wick. This one was pretty small too. It's been up only for a while here for Bitcoin. Back to 77,424. I like it. Bouncing. Look, this 200 doesn't want to give it up here on the 15-minute time frame. It is a battle on the 200 moving on the 15. $77,415. So the weekly to me closed absolutely beautiful. It opened at 62,900 even. The high was 79,500 even. How do they get it even like that? The low was 62,751 and 10 cents. And the candle closed at $77,734 even. So it opens at 62,900 even, closes at 77,734 even. Up an even $14,834 even, no change. How is that? How is that possible? How? Like that? Like how is it possible to end on even numbers? Like I find it like almost. Like, with all the numbers and the billions of people buying and selling, like, you think it would have to be, like, some random 21, 43? Someone must, like, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, but nice and buttoned up, $15,000 candle, basically, for Bitcoin. A 23%, 23.58% candle. One of the biggest candles in history. I mean, look at that. That's just amazing. So we just witnessed an amazing thing. Will we see a massive liquidation back the other way? Are we just getting a pounding? You know, do you get excited about something like this, or do you take it with a grain of salt? You take it with a grain of salt. You take it easy. Doesn't mean you don't prepare for longs. Doesn't mean you don't get ready, but you got to just... For me, smart money selling, like we took profits. We were waiting for this. And it's funny, I make these awesome, like, short videos every day, and I put them out. And I was doing one, like, a few weeks back, maybe even, like, a month or two ago. And it was talking about how it was like, you know, when the news usually talks about a pump, but once the pump happens, it's usually the people that were prepared that catch it, not retail that reads about it that morning and sees the candle, right? To catch a pump, and that replays in my mind a lot. And then I think about how everyone in my group that was consistent and stuck with me made a good amount of money. And I said, you know, it came from that idea that we were prepared. Like, we knew about the 21 being above in the 4 hour and the 1 minute, 1 hour. Like, we knew why we should be more bullish than bearish based off indicators and years of doing it. And so when it happened, oh my gosh, we're so lucky that we got the pump. Yes, I could say yes. Wow, pretty lucky. It was luck. It was great luck, but it wasn't luck though, right? Did luck have anything to do with it? No. It was never taking a day off. Like, so if you never take a day off, then you're going to get the 1 day out of two. If you don't take a day off in 2,000 days, and Bitcoin pumps like this only 10 times like that. Like sometimes it might, like in its lifetime, maybe it's only done this. Like, I don't know. Let's say 50 times it's done a pump like this in its life. That one was pretty big. But you know, the one on the, so I don't know. I don't know exactly. But it definitely a smaller amount of days are like this than the most days, right? So point is it's rare. But if you work every day, you're going to catch every time it does it. Because I've been around for 5 years without a day off. I've caught every pump that Bitcoin's ever had, you know? It's kind of nuts, right? But like, so you can be like, you can try to be the smartest person in the room. You know, you can pray that you get born to someone rich and inherit a bunch of money, or you marry some woman with money. I don't know, you know? Or you can just be consistent. And, you know, like I remember Jim Rohn telling me, like the rich, the most intelligent people are not the ones who are the most successful. You know, the smartest guy in the room is not the most successful. The guy with the biggest degree. You know, the most successful person in every industry is the most consistent person. Like, and I remember him telling me this over and over again. And I said, man, I just want to be that guy, Jim. I said, I want to be that guy, Jim. I want to walk in a room with the tie and the suit on. I want everyone to be like, that's that dude. I want to inspire everyone. Like Jim inspired everyone. When he walked in a room and he did a talk, like he was always dressed to the nine. And he talked the talk, he walked the walk. And he had real life steps to help people get to where they were going. You know, he was awesome. The guy was unbelievable. I love him because he was my second father in a way. Like, I listened to him every single day for years. And even the couple weeks, I forgot to listen to my Jim Rohn. I got to get back to listening to Jim Rohn again. Just reset my brain and keep myself going. It keeps your subconscious mind on a track. Like, you don't get off track when you listen to Jim. He keeps you back on track. He tells you, hey, I hope my show does that for a lot of people. I'm aiming to be like a modern day Jim Rohn for people. Keep them on track. Because being on track and being consistent would be the greatest gift you could ever give yourself. For me, it was. Like, I look back now and I'm like, thank the Lord I got myself disciplined and on track. It's Saturday, you know, it's Sunday night. I want to go hang out with my buddies. I want to chill. You know, a part of me doesn't want to stream exactly at 8 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday night. I'll be honest with you. Many times this summer. But you know what? I love my stream and I love the time that I picked and I like to be consistent and that also feels great. And there's 873 beautiful souls here. Let's get the likes going, baby. That's amazing. So, you know, why would I stop, baby? 5-day charge is starting to look like we're going to get, you know, we got rejected by the 200. We're away from that 21. I think we just got to all realistically start thinking about a pullback here. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Still bullish, you know, as long as we don't go below these resistances here at 65, which we're $12,000 away from, which means it would take a lot of big money to short Bitcoin down there. It's going to take a lot of money just to reset Bitcoin because of what happened. So a good amount of short money is going to come in, and maybe they get to this level. Maybe they get to drag us down to 70,000. It's good to pull a Fibonacci here and see what you get. And your 618 is at like 68,000. So, you know, you don't flabbergast if you get down there. That's really just a buy zone. So, and again, I'm not saying let's short right now. I didn't say let's short right now. I am leaning that shorts should be kind of coming into play here. But again, a lot of people thought that for the last week and they got absolutely demolished. So, ooh, my longs back in action here with the bounce off the 200 yet again. And honestly, this, I think the third time is a charm. Look, first time we got the green, no, rejection on the next candle. Second time, monster move, bullish engulfer, fall by nada. Third time is a charm. Can we get the bounce here and get a move on to the upside, boys, to the upside. And get to my target. I'll make a 1,600 real quick on the night. Call it a day, you know. Pay for my steak dinners. Bought some beautiful, beautiful T-bone steaks. Was here with God is Love. You know God is Love. He's right there. What up? What up, God is Love? He's in the chat somehow. And he's right there. It's holding the 1 hour SMA. I know, that's another thing, the 21. We're going to talk about that. James Street. You're funny. Bang, bang, to the upside, baby. Shout out to Crypto Schiller. I like that. When Real Dump. When Lambo. Check that off the list. Tomorrow's market open will show when she is going. Where she is going. You're funny. I love those Mondays, though, and that's why we don't overtrade Mondays. We let Mondays come to us, find out what's going on, and make those trades usually Monday night. So I'm in a long right now for Bitcoin, just to make it clizzy clear. And if you want to jump on and look, we have this cool link where you can, bring friends to Token 2049. And you can be entered in spins and all that fun stuff, and you can get a ticket to 2049 with me. It ends in 1 day, 9 hours, and 21 minutes. Register now. Link in the comments. Okay, so the 3-day chart looks good, and it still looks bullish, you see? Had a bit of a punch down, but it still looks interesting to me, like it could close just like this. And then the daily in some chop, but wow, it ended up closing green today. So the daily opened at 77.74 and 94 cents. The high was 78.52 and 85. The low was 75.545 and 67. And the candle closed at 77,734 even, as we said there before. And then $659.07 on the day for Bitcoin. So that is basically a 600 and, in all intents and purposes, $660 candle on the day. Opened at 77, even about 77.74, closed at 77.7. So, I see the daily definitely hit resistance. Like, look, these are the right shoulders were here on this last, shoulder, head, shoulder. So, made sense. We came right to that area. 5-day 200 move. Remember the 5-day 200 too, just not to forget, right? Just pointing it out. It's always a 200 some way. Very shaded here, but usually, if we're going to pump like this, doesn't the daily get to usually something like this? The only thing about this pump is usually a pump this hard usually kind of holds the high for, I don't know, I'd say at least 1 to 3 months. You know what I'm saying? When you pump like this and then chill, it could take some time to really get back to these highs again. Consolidations, and people expect every day to be euphoric like that, and that it's not always going to be like that. Those were some special times. Don't rain on my parade, Sammy. I know. Don't be realistic, Sam. Tell us, just, sweet nothings in our ear. Okay, it always pumps like this. It's going to pump all summer. Can't wait for October. It's just never going to go down. Just get ready to get so bullish here. No, I can't tell. People are going to clip that and say that's what I said, Shout out to God is Love Stack. Shout out to Rainbow Mart. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. Shout out to Blazer5475. Shout out to D Shuffle, my man. Shout out to Torta Clapper Brisk, man. Wow. And shout out to 12 Digital in the house. Shout out to Clapjack Marcus in the house too as well. And Clapjack jumping in as an awesome member there. My Columbia wife smokes American Spirits, America. Hey, shout out Yo Mama's Bitcoin wallet. God bless you, man. Yo Mama's Bitcoin wallet. Thank you so much for being here. Don't talk about my mama. CYBERLEEK, somebody said, it looked all right. We'll take a look back at it. It did get a little bit of a pullback there, not much. Moscow Mule, interesting. Bitcoin waiting for volume for the upside. What's your choice of drink for tonight? I am drinking, probably regretfully, some Olipop Vintage Cola. See, there it goes. The USB playing games. It took 2 hours, though, but it eventually did it. Push it higher, baby. Push it higher. So the daily, to me, looks like it's coming down. I had a short open today on the daily, and I flopped and groped it. But I was basically short something like this, right? I think like here. I'd be at break even right now. To me, it just looks like you're just so overbought on the stochastics RSI, right? But, that shaded region usually gets a double king head. Usually you get something and then you're going to get the bear div, like here maybe. And then we get the pullback. I don't know. I'll figure it out by looking at it. So, but I'm leaning short because we're just so extended. And here we are just sitting at this 77.4, and we might sit here all night. So the daily in the shaded region, when's the last time we've seen that? Last time the daily was in a shaded region pump was here in November of 2024, where it went on a massive tear from 72 all the way back up to the highs there at 108,000. And it wouldn't end there, as we all know. So I take tweezer top seriously. Red next to a green, bearish. Pullback coming, you know. But then, you know, it kind of started getting the aggressive move today on the 15-minute. That got me like, uh-oh. You know, bit of a symmetrical triangle, right? Like, could go either way. And I look at it kind of like a lower high. You see, I'm getting very tight in the end here. The 21 is touching. You know, and there, you know, it's kind of, this is kind of bear day if this swings up, and this swings up way violently, but you can say, okay. Just a tempo break for a second. Let it rip. Yo. Love that. 77,250, getting lower than we've seen most of the time here. All right, so they are definitely, it is getting pushed around here. Ooh, see, I don't like that. It's choppy, folks. It's hard to tell. It's almost like you got to either short on the bigger time frame. Oh, that got really close to the low there. Let's see what happens. But I might get taken out. That's CYBERLEEK right there, kind of playing games up and down, lower high. Might really dump that movement back to the 200 and the 15. It's a lot likely scenario. 77.20 to 28 on Bitcoin, struggling to hold that $77,500 area. Making a bit of a symmetrical triangle, if you ask me, getting more and more bearish. Yeah. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame and see what's at. 2 hours, 2 hour too. Tightness, kind of lower high bending. You know, like the way it's. So, you know, still shoulder, head. It's not like inverted head and shoulder, but got tight. Work. Funny, it did that right as I hit that, and it's like, what? I mean, getting very tight. There's still a chance that Bitcoin could bounce off the low, though, and make itself into some type of very tight channel and still rip here. Almost like shoulder, head, shoulder, and just get a beautiful move to the upside. That's still possible. So it's like Bitcoin's been tough because you can't, you know, you're not supposed to bet on a pumping after it keeps dripping like this. But you know, you also, every time I've considered a short once now. I dabbled on one. It wasn't the best. Right now, the 1 hour just kind of collapsed a little bit there too. Like, you know, wants to come further down, very likely. $15-minute and the 30-minute. So the 50-minute, obviously, like we said, is going to battle that 200 moving average. Once you lose that, that's going to probably, to me, that's like loss of the 200, loss of the trend line. You kind of got to, it has some rounded tops idea here, right? I mean, it's like a lower high, almost like cat ears in a way, but mixed signals on low volume, anything can happen, but it does look more bearish than bullish. It's got a trend right now. That's a high, that's a low, that's a lower high. Come down and break the lower low. You close down below 76,000, I'm going to take that as bearish. Just, you know, even in the interim. I'm not saying like, I hope people can read that right. They don't just say, "Oh, it's not over for Bitcoin." I'm not Peter Schiff, okay? It has a future in my mind. Peter doesn't know how to use it. It's all good. He's a nice guy. We had a beautiful debate together just a couple months back. Me and Peter, that's epic. Me and Peter is a great debate because I'm like a newer generation. but still also older generation with my thought process and the way I was raised. And then you can kind of see us kind of, you know, the way we both talk. It's just interesting, you know. He's older than me, obviously. I'm still a young buck. I'm still so young, I believe I am, right? You're as young as you feel. So look, that's a beautiful bull div there on the 1 minute time frame. That could be a beautiful bounce off the bottom of the trend line. You know, it's telling me that that's some faith. Like, we get a bounce here, we get tight. And everything works out, at least for the next few days here, until we get the bigger move for Bitcoin. Back to 77,400 for BTC, bouncing back above that 200 moving average. So some hope lies ahead for BTC. Let's see what happens in the last hour for altcoins. We had Lighter still continuing to do some damage, up to $3.42. Curve down near protocol as well, jumping into the mix, up 27%. Morpho, Sui, Hyperliquid doing damage. Unbelievable. Stacks, Pump Fun, everything up. Pump Fun's up 90% in 7 days. Render, 19%. It's awesome. I've been just seeing gains across the board. Even Aster, my baby Aster. I think Aster's going to do big things one day. $60 coin, in my humble opinion. And I could be wrong, but I see it as 100x from here. $67 a coin one day. And it was 67 cents. 18, 19, 20 months. I think it's going to get too into tokenization. It's going to attach itself. It's got too much going for it. Solana back at 94, but up 26%. You got to love it. P-DAI doing its thing. DAI doing its thing. Hedera H-bar. Even Hedera's H-bar is up 22%. Nice day to be alive, I'll tell you what. Just looking over the overall portfolio, and yes. Mario's coin, ENA, doing damage at 16 cents, too. So far, so good. Not far, South Boston. You like apples? How about them apples? So, Ultima looks interesting. I don't have any of this coin. I'm not in the trade, just so you know. I'm not pumping my own bag. That's why I'm not in the trade. Just sometimes I just, you know, I let it because it just, you know, the TA looks so good. I want it to play out the way it's supposed to, regardless if I'm in the trade or not. But it's getting so tight. And you know, I said it could even still come and grab us. But I mean, that is beautiful. That's ultimate consolidation, no pun intended, on Ultima, right? And no, it's not a Nissan, right? Sorry. So corny. You know, I was with my wife the other day, and she said, you know, how come you take me no place I've never been, right? So I took it to the Lambo. Change it up on you. Hey, he can't do that. Yes, I can. So Bitcoin in the 5 minute time frame, seeing if we can get the bounce tonight and kind of stay inside this wiggle. And can we wiggle around tonight? And can I still win my long? 6 hours and 20 minutes straight up until about 3 in the morning over here. So I'm looking for that inverted head and shoulder there. You can see it. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I'm looking for that to play out. That's what I'm looking for here on BTC. All right. So I'm still long for the night. I'm going to go to sleep long and see where it goes. I made my decision with you guys live. Sometimes I just need a little bit of a push, like a live stream, to get me to commit, because, hey, I got to do what I got to do, right? Shout out to the crypto lifers out there. God bless you all. Thank you so much for kicking it with me every single day and most nights as well. Life has been a beautiful dream, man. It's been fun. And it's just been a good day to be alive. Every day. I remember days that I struggled so much more than my days now. These days feel beautiful. I didn't have kids to look at that nourished me. And, you know, when you see your kids, they give you so much energy back. Yeah, 465 to 1 here on Creek on CYBERLEEK. And, you know, CYBERLEEK's all about the fact that they took pieces of GTA out there and leaked it. And then people said it's not fair, you know. Something, I don't know why. They on some idea that, why did they leak it? There was a reason. But whatever. Because they didn't make it like decentralized or something. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? And so they wanted to punish the creators of... I think it's an inside job, but, you know, whoever, maybe not. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be involved, right? I don't want to say something like that. I know nothing. But this is it, is this coin, I guess, has something to do with it, and that's why it's been taken off since August 22nd. But remember VAI? I remember when this coin first came out. Vayu. PNG. The Vic. Storage. I remember trading storage back in the day. Strong. Remember StrongX? Strong. Oh, man. Made so much money on so many different coins. Electronium. Who here remembers Electronium? That's an old one. Let's talk about a baby. Chainlink to the upside. Chainlink took a massive move. Back at 11, I told you I have 100 grand of Chainlink. I have 100 grand of Sol. I keep the big boys. And I never sold in the bearish times. And they didn't get that bad. I mean, they were down, but not too bad. It could have been way worse. And it's not over yet. You never know. I'll bite my tongue. So, I want to be humble. I've been smashed before. The second I said, oh, look at me. And then, right? It would be great to pull a mill off those two investments, though, if they both hit big. Link goes to $50. I mean, I'm going to be sitting on a half a mil, and that's great. Everyone's running after life-changing money. If I just keep swing trading, making a few, if my trading account starts making a few $1 million swing trades, we'll be doing great. Got to get this market to start ripping. I don't like going with heavy leverage there. It's not my forte anyway. I know what I'm really good at. And you should find out, if through trading, you'll find out what you're better at in trading and put more effort in that. Like, I like to trade Bitcoin only. I put more effort in it than trading altcoins on leverage. I'll accumulate massive amounts of I'll still buy 100 grand of an altcoin. You see what I mean? It's not like I don't have the guts. It's just I just do what I'm better at. I'm good at holding altcoins for long periods of time and selling when they're finally up. It seems simple. Like, you just hold till you're up. But you know how many people can't do that? Like 99%. So you have to not care about money. You have to have, I almost died. I fell, the glass and all that, and it was bleeding up. You have to almost die a few times. And I think if that happens to you, you'll cherish life so much. Like, you'll realize a breath of fresh air is so special and beautiful to you because there was a time when you knew you almost never had it. And everything comes from that. Like, you can't enjoy lasagna if you don't have your life. You can't have a good, nice night out with your wife or your family or your friend. You can't enjoy anything if you didn't have your life. So, you look back on those days, I think on that scar, and I'm like, wow. Like, live stream, super chats, Lamborghinis, all that stuff. That's just like, well, are you kidding me? That's just an icing on the cake that I'm alive. That can never be all what life is, because life isn't that. Life is the breath of fresh air that I almost lost, right? So, when someone's almost taken your life or something, oh man, you will cherish so much, and you won't care about money that much. And when you don't care that much about money, you'll be able to make more of it than most people because they're so stuck on it all the time. That's all they think about. But if they had flipped their mind and thought about high frequency, helping people, what could be, what they could create, abundance, you'd be surprised how much money they could attract or bring into their life and use it to give to others. Anyway, I hope I'm not bragging. I hope I'm spreading some knowledge here about just to get rich. People want to get rich and wealthy and they chase it, but no one, you got to chase. It's weird. You got to chase frequency and kind of, how you feel about yourself and your thought process more than anything else. Money will follow that. Your mind ain't right. Money ain't going to follow. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what, your vibrations are off. It's just going to leave you. I see a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. People come to me. Oh, my, my brother, my sister. Oh, hey, my neighbors. People come to me, man. They just end up finding me somehow. Can you help me? And sometimes I sit with them. I'll have coffee. We'll talk and, I'll ask them what's going on. And they're financially just year after year, just constantly in debt, just job to job, just can't seem to. And it's usually focus. It's lack of self-esteem. It becomes, I really break down. It's very therapy. It becomes the person's subconscious mind, man. It's a subconscious mind block that they're doing something to sabotage their life on purpose. It's weird. They're so afraid of change. Once you get into a rut of bad things happening, it becomes a feeling you get addicted to, just like a drug. So you perpetuate bad things continuing to happening to yourself because you're inside of a spinning wheel where you get it. You actually feed off of that energy. It's really weird. You don't know this. You go to bed every day. You wake up, I want to change my life. But you constantly do the same thing. How? How is this possible? How could I say I want to change my life, start a business, and do everything? This was me. Wake up, I want to change my life, start a business, do all these things. 5 years go by. Same place, same night shift. Did none of the things I said I wanted to do. Why? Start off the next year. I would write diaries down. This one, I'm going to write it down. You write things, I would write it down. It will change your life. Okay. I'm going to start today with this. I'm going to start writing my book. I'm going to do this. I did that so many times, and then weeks would go by. I remember the writings that turned into nothing. I'm like, I remember that day. I'd start again a month later. All right, Friday, date, another to-do list, you know? And eventually I just found something that I love so much that I did it all the time, right? It's so weird, and you'll find your calling, you'll find your way, trust me. And it may not be what you read on a line. You have to have this, you might have to do it. You may not win the way everyone designed it. You may win in your own way completely, you know? And that's kind of the book I'm going to write about my life. It's going to be how I tripped into winning. I didn't always know I was going to win. I didn't always see it so clearly. And, yeah. The Blunder King, you know what I mean? It's going to be called The Blunder King. How I just kind of fell into certain things, but through the book, you're going to realize that did I or did I not? Because I just never stopped. And you're like, well, that's how we did. So you can be like a tumbling weed that just keeps going down. And eventually, you know, I tell you, you can, the tire that keeps on spinning, it might bounce off a bunch of walls. You know what I mean? It might almost get punctured. It might rip and roar. But if it keeps spinning, it's going to keep rolling, man. You know, and that's all you got to do is be the guy that keeps getting up no matter how many times you got knocked down. I met guys that dropped out of high school, multimillionaires, and I asked them, well, you know, it's like, I just never stopped, Sammy. I never stopped, they would tell me. You know, other people gave up. I kept going. I had a buddy in real estate. We started together. He didn't get enough deals. He started complaining. He started drinking. He got off, you know. He did pills. He got addicted. Then he was lazy, you know. He had one big deal. He made some money, and then he spent it all on the pills, you know. Then he got comfortable. Not me. I started grinding. The guy told me I kept going, you know. With my money, I started putting down payments on apartments. I got cash flow. You know, next thing you know, I started owning real estate. I stayed in real estate. A lot of people told me their real estate story grinded, you know, starting off as real estate agents and then just, you know, using that, what they learned and their knowledge and their money that they made on their deals to eventually get themselves into more real estate, you know. I was a real estate agent. I started it when I was right out of college, 22, 23. I met a guy from Boston, and he had five people in his little office. It was down near Bleecker Street. You know, and I bought a couple suits and started going to work every day there and then logging in on the remote computer. And I got into a couple deals. They fell through. I worked on one deal for 3 months. It was an apartment up on 96th Street in Columbus on the Upper West Side. I always remember. I would have made a pretty good commission on it. It was $1 million apartment. You make 3% on that, right? Your firm does, right? So it was 30 grand. And then you have to split that with your boss. So you get 15 grand if you get the deal done, right? It's crazy, right? Well, you sell 10 $1 million apartments, you make 150 grand a year. Pretty hard work if you think about it. It's not easy. Eventually you get more points. You start to split two, you know, and your boss gives you 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, you know. You start doing more work and hitting more deals. He's going to give you a higher rate, whatever. You work your deal. Sometimes you have to split that too with the guy. There's also sometimes a representing guy, and then you can split that point with him. And sometimes you're left with 0.5, man, when it's all, or 0.75. Because you get 1.5, and then you got to split it with the guy that you work for. Anyway, it's a hard racket, man. People think it's sweet. So I've been through a lot of different jobs in my life, man. I love trading, man. I don't think you'll ever find, once you master it and love it, you'll never find something better. And once you make your first $1 million off of trading and you look back on it and you literally have $1 million in the bank or somewhere because of trading, you're going to be like, wow, how you never thought. And it can come to anyone that keeps going. And you got to be consistent. I say it every day. But it's the key to success. It's not that hard, really. You know what it is? It's not, the key to success is simple. Just most people don't want to do what it takes to do it. Isn't that weird? It's not hard to be successful. If you break down success, there's really a few things you got to do. And it's almost guaranteed. It is. I don't even want to say almost, it is. Success is literally a key to a door. You put a key in, it opens that door. You do these certain things and you are guaranteed to be successful. Jim Rohn told me this. He said, dude, it's not the person. There's no special person. They just did the things. He's like, I'm going to tell you what they are. And I'm going to show you how to do them every day. And I was like, really? I'm going to listen to someone and they're like back to Jim Rohn again. But it's like, wow. Change your life. You know, this could bounce on the 4-hour time frame. You see how it's low, but you got to start looking at, I'm starting to look at stuff on the daily now. Right? And it will follow Bitcoin. I just feel like it's better. We just kind of like do something like this. And if we're in a real bull market that has really changed hands with massive amounts of money coming on in, then these are all going to flag out nicely. Whether they go down on bull flags like this, you know, we don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter what this pattern is. People think they laugh at me when I do this stuff. It doesn't matter if it makes one of these or one of those. None of that matters. Or even if it comes down a little more like this. That'd be sweeter for the bears, but it'll induce more shorts to pump us up again. You know, but any one of these, I'm looking for the 21, and I'm looking for previous support and resistance to hold. And then I'm looking for smaller time frames to stay above their 200s, and then I'm locked in. Like, that's all I got to worry about. You should write down what I just said, because it's gold. I don't feel like repeating myself right now. No, so, and then let's take a look back at the 8-hour. 22 looks good to me, like it's going to hold a little bit. 12 hours starting to look good on Link. Eight-hour a little choppy, and the 4-hour a little choppy. And then I would really stay off the small time frames for now. Maybe until tomorrow night. They're all just depending on whatever Bitcoin's going to do. Wow, we just got a massive pump back off the 200 again. This has been a wild ride. This is a bullish engulfing candle that just closed in the 15-minute time frame, giving me some grace back in the long. Oh, I'm out. Did I get taken out? I got out? No. I raised my stop too high or something, right? No. I've been chopping myself today. I should stop. Signs of tiredness or something, you know? I'm overtired, you know, flying, jet lagged. But then I see it too. It's tough, man. It's tough to extrapolate like you as a person. And then when I see, I mean, that looks nice to me. I feel like we got to trade that. They're going to pump that. I'm going to put that up and turn my computer off after the stream and just not look at it till I wake up in the morning. Because that's the only way, you know what I mean? I call it trading blind. You got to just let it go and walk away. Keep looking at it. You're going to make, you know, I will chop. Dang, I didn't think I got stopped out there. I thought I was still in the move. Just double check, yeah. Yeah. Gold just closed 50-minute candle below the 200. My Colombian wine smokes. Okay, why? I don't get it. Pax is pumping. Yeah, stop moving your stop loss. What's the point of moving it when you said it? Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I can do whatever I want, man. I might be tired. You know what I mean? That's why. Like, sometimes you do things when you're tired, bro. 90,208. I think we get to 90K, though. That's crazy. That's what this... Hold on. Let me slow down here. It's kind of crazy, though. That's kind of what it says is going to happen. That's a bit odd. I'll go down a little lower than that. 88. It says it's going to rip to 88,000. That's just a measured move. That's what it says it's going to do. That's not... And that's just so improbable, right? It's weird, though, how the 21 caught back up with the 4-hour after such a harsh... It's crazy. That daily is sketchy, though. My instincts tell me do not trade against that daily. It's too high. And, you know, I'm in spot. I'm also in the monthly. If it pumps, it pumps. Like, I just feel like I always have to catch that chase. I get, like, into it. You know, I'm like, oh, I got to get it. That's when you know you're chasing a little bit, too. Maybe I do nothing tonight and I'll just let it go. But the 21's also over the 200, which has got me going there. The 30-minute and the 15 both look nicely bullish here. But they keep making it look bullish and then bearish and bearish and then bullish. Like it's, you know, it's back and forth every 5 seconds here. Getting very tight inside, though. Very, very tight. An explosive move is coming for Bitcoin. Look at the tightness it's in right now. It's going to have to break one of these trend lines in the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours at the most. Looks too good to be true. Lunar eclipse coming. We're going down to form the right shoulder. Maybe. 88, very possible in my opinion. Opinion. Clapjack spent 5. Thank you. Now let's take a look at the super chats for a second here at 9:08 p.m. on this beautiful Sunday night, August 23rd, 2026. Sammy, man, my giggle can't pump short long term. Can it pump short long term? Giggle. Crypto Clown World. We'll take a look at Giggle. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being here. A long time lifer there, Crypto Clown World. Yo mama as a Bitcoin, Yo mama's Bitcoin wallet says 999. Bitcoin is a minor war over junk data like BSV. One side wants to switch to faster Blake 2B to kill SHA-256 miners and reset centralization with billions invested dots. It's all nonsense. Yeah, the mainstream chain doesn't care. It's not worth talking about. I love you, though. I appreciate it. I don't mean to be rude. Best intro song. Yeah, thanks, man. Shout out to Mike Money in the house. Thank you, Mike Money, for your $2 super chats. Very nice of you. Your mama Bitcoin asking again, my Colombian wife smokes American spirits. Thank you. But we don't want to promote that to the kids, you know? Crypto Clown World, Sammy, my man Giggle, well, look at Giggle. Thank you for bringing it up. It's been a while. Mike Percy in the house. Sammy, you cool with a paid membership if I donate $100 to hook up someone with the lifers? You come up with a reason for that gift? Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, we used to do that all the time here. People would be so euphoric of the gains, they'd say, hey, I want to send in some money. Yeah, send in a super chat and we pick somebody that wants to jump on in for the month, for sure. It's a sponsorship program, man. I tell people I've never seen it. It's a trading group where other people in the trading group pay for other people to join. They love it so much. Self-promotion, it's unbelievable, but hey, dude, it works, so. Shout out to Mike Percy, been a super supportive guy ever since he joined. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Unbelievable. I still can't believe it. I never thought in my wildest dreams this type of stuff would be happening. I'm on a Sunday night hanging out of my house, and I built this little room that I'm in. It just like bugs me out, you know? Paxton Penguin about to fly. Really? Paxton? You know, CASHCAT looks interesting, folks. I don't own any, so it is what it is, but Paxton, there's the little penguin there, huh? About to fly. I mean, why do you guys do this? Why do you guys do this? Why do you do this stuff to me? It really pisses me right now. I'm just... No, but seriously, it does get me, it gets under my skin. When someone sends me a coin with like $52,000 market cap or something, I'm always like, come on, man. I mean, liquidity, $34,000 in liquidity, like this little crap coin, this little junk coin somebody made, and you want me to talk? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't disrespect the channel. Like, you're wasting our time. You know what I mean? Don't waste our time, man. No, I'm not wasting your time, man. I love you. I just really think it's going to be awesome. Well, you're still wasting my time. All right? Don't do it over here. You should apologize, please, as soon as you can for wasting the super chat. The privilege. Bitcoin Bill, thanks for what you do, Sam. Bitcoin Bill, unbelievable, gives a $50 super chat. And then he sends 20 gifted memberships that are $5 a piece. Right? It's $100, right? It's unbelievable. So, may God bless you. Thank you so much, Bitcoin Bill, for gifting memberships to the lifers. We also have Mr. Ebox, who sends 5 gifted memberships to the lifers as well. Wow. And that's a new one I haven't seen. Thank you so much, Mr. Ebox. And this channel is just for people that are feeling good, that make money, and want to spread love. Like, there's actually awesome people out here that are awesome. You know what I mean? That actually tell people things to be nice. That tip their waiter awesomely because they just feel good about it. Like, there are awesome people in the world. Too many people focus on the negativity too many times. And there's Mike Percy with $100 super chat. Bingo, baby. And let's pick a beautiful person to be inside. Number one, who wants to join the Discord with us and become a lifer? Who's been really, like, has a yearning to be in the trading group with me? Anybody? Anyone's like, no, really, from the bottom of my heart, I really want to become a crypto lifer. full time. I want to be with the lifers in the Discord every single day. I want to rock. Put a 444. Change it up. Put a 444 if you have a deep desire to be inside the Discord with us and you want to trade. Just want to see how many people are really, really passionate here about jumping on into the Discord. And how many people are listening. Put a 444 if that's you who I just described. We have a lot of me's. We have a lot of thumbs up. We got a lot of people, but did we still? Let's see. It comes in. It's latent. So here we come. Here come the 444s. Wow, it's just ripping. The screen is out of control, right? So look at this. 879 beautiful people here on the live tonight. Chat rate at 22. Views above 4,000. You people are amazing. Okay, a lot of 444s. Okay. A lot of passionate people that want to be with the lifers. So this looks like a good... I'm going to pick... When it starts ripping, I'm going to pick a good group of people here. I'm going to pick a name and throw them in the group. It's going to be that easy, folks. Just going to wait to see where this stops. 1, 2... We'll do it at 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. The chat's exploding right now. I'm like, I don't want to stop that. That's a chat rate just went to 148. It exploded beyond belief. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, it's insane. It's going like at the speed of light. Insanity. I spoke too soon. That's crazy. That's just like nuts. Like, is that even possible? Like, for a live stream this small? Are you kidding me? 884 people. The chat rate is... It's just got the chat rate ripping. Like, the more people are joining the stream now because the algorithm's wondering how the heck you get a chat rate like this. And all it knows is how to sell ads. And it's like, dude, if we get a chat rate like this, it can sell an ad. It's going to send people to live stream. You get what I'm saying? A chat rate like this is out of control. Thank you so much. Like, this is nuts. And this is why we're on top, man, because we do things to the algo that nobody does. You know what I mean? We run the algo in such a way, man. We do. I am an internet ghost. I live inside the digits, man. And I figured out some things about the internet. I may not be the biggest, but I figured out some stuff. I live on the internet, right? It's my life 24/7. Wow, this is crazy. The chat rate's now at 900. I've never seen this in my life. 944 the chat rate. That's insanity. It's flying faster than the BPMs of the song. Still going, too. This is nuts. Like, how many people have the time? Wow. All right, I think I found it. Wander Together 7. Yeah. Your name I saw the name Wander, and I said, wow, that's interesting. And then they said Wander Together, and I said, that's cool. And so, yeah, you caught my eye there somehow, some way. And the odds of me catching the channel there are just absolutely insane. And Bake for Thanksgiving, and then the Ninja Never Glove Cold Press Juicer unboxing by Wander Together. Thank you, man. Email us from that email, and we'd love to put you in the Discord, the Crypto Lifer 99. Yeah, for 1 month, man. Thank you so much, Michael Percy, for what you did. You got the chat rate out of control, number one, because I don't know if I was going to come up with such a great idea to run the algo to smithereens, but dang, this was amazing. Now I say Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Look at 686 on the chat rate. That's insanity. So yeah, if we're bullish on Tendies, I want to see it come back up here and get some nice consolidation. It just might. Tendies has been hot. It's funny. It's got the je ne sais quoi to get there. But again, am I in that meme? No. And is it really worth it? I don't think so. No. But if any coin could rip, Tendies has something to it, right? Here we are again, challenging the 200. This has just been the night. Bong, bong. We've just been bouncing off of it for the whole night. And I feel like the more you hit it, the more you're going to break, the more it's going to roll over. And that short's going to take it, eventually going to come into play. I got mixed signals tonight, man. We should just go to sleep and trade nothing. It's just, you know what? It's been so fun. I just realized what it is. It's been so fun and so pumping that I'm used to going to bed every night with like heavy adrenaline. Like the last 5, 6, 7 nights, I haven't been able to sleep till 2 in the morning because Bitcoin's been ripping every single night. I'm waking up to massive amounts of money. Making at least 2 to 3 grand every day, right? Shout out to my man, Greg. Miss you, Greg. And yeah, it's been a crazy time, man. And I think tonight now I want that rush. And I'm afraid if it pumps, I'll miss that feeling, that rush of being in the trade, right? It's almost like an addiction to the adrenaline. Seriously, let's talk about it, right? So because we've been so crazy for the last weeks, maybe I'm going to, and that might force me to kind of overtrade a little bit because I'm running after a vibe. And that's kind of emotions in a way, right? So maybe to counteract that, I just don't trade tonight to prove to myself that I'm the Zen master. And if it pumps in the middle of the night, it pumps, so be it. And I have to wake up tomorrow morning and be grateful for my life and not care about the pump. Sometimes I say this and then like right before I go to bed, I'm like, but the probability is just, the trade is right. It's the 21 above the 200. I'm just like, It's hard to say no. There it is, looking like it's going to try to bounce again off that 200 moving average. Chop City right there. And to get to 83K for sure on a 4-to-1, you know. One guy said, you got tons of spot. You ain't missing anything. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. But, you know, I'm now like an on-display magician, or I don't know what it is, a baseball guy. You know what I mean? It's like I'm at the home run. And then when everyone wants to see me hit a home run. I'm on the 4-hour chart all day, brother. You can give the 99 trade, but you can't take your day to reset. But you can take your day to reset. Thank you. Who is brave enough? 444. Thank you. Or do you have small leverage instead of high? Yeah? That's all you, not my hookup, sir. Chat's not the only last one. Get ready. Show up every day like Sammy and just hit the like and get a gift. Thank you so much, Mike Percy, man. Do you see these people that come out of nowhere? Like the last 6, 7 months, this guy, right? It's amazing, right? I'm amazed by it, you know? I'm just like, how is this possible, you know? There's always someone with a good attitude that finds me and uses me to their advantage, you know? Dude, Michael Pa. I tried to remember his name the other day. I was at lunch with this dude, and I was like, this old man my accountant. I was talking to my accountant, and I was like, this old guy shows up to my channel. I was like, over 20 times he sent $500. I was like, it's 10 grand, you know? I'm like, I've never met him. I don't know who he is. He disappears. I was like, I forgot his name. Michael something? Michael Pa. Who was Michael Pa? We'll never know. I don't know. I think I think when I tallied up, it was around $15,000 to $16,000 in total. Seriously. In about like a 2.5 year period, he just show up out of nowhere, $500. And he's like, when I'm back in the States, I'll see you again. Can't see the stream every time. And a lot of times it was like I'd go stream late and it would be at like 12:15. Towards the end, he did it like 4 or 5 times late at like 12:20. Witness, right? Yeah. True stories, man. Like it's like what has happened on my YouTube channel has been such an amazing. It's just like even that story is just nuts. Like who would believe that? I started a YouTube channel and then some random person donated 15 grand to me. It's like, why? You know what I mean? Like I was already doing very well. Like things were going very well for me. Like there's, you know, that's why we feed people and we do so many nice things, because we've got like so much going on. You know, you've got till 12:30 to summon Michael Pa. I know, right? It was you the whole time, bro? Was it really you the whole time? It was aliens. See, I did it right now, right? Aliens. The legend of Michael Pa. It's true, though. I remember Pa. Put a Pa in the comments if you remember Michael Pa. I want to see how many old school Pa people we got here. The Michael Pa days. Back in the days of Michael Pa. Yeah, Stack McChange called it the Michael P. pension plan. He's like, yo, where's my Michael P. pension plan? Yo, that's dope. How'd you get that? Right? I didn't even need health insurance. I had Michael Pa. It's crazy. He says, I feel like I've been here a while. I don't recall that. Yeah, it's been like, what, 2 years now since that's happened, maybe, right? Maybe 18 months was the last one. I don't know. Maybe. Huh? Yeah, probably 1 year ago, randomly. Yeah, maybe. And maybe it's someone who just made a Michael Pa email and did it too. We don't know. You know what I mean? It could have been like a funny lifer. You know what I mean? Like just trying to like keep it up. I don't know, you know? I should just make a Michael Pa email and do it. It was me the whole time, guys. I was always sending myself $500 and giving Google. No, I would honestly, I would never do that because you know I wouldn't donate money where it doesn't need it. Yeah, I would donate money to the right cause, not to like you know a conglomerate. At the end of the summer, deals joining the group. Even CryptoFace and other crypto YouTubers give. Yep. Gonna make it a tribute to Pa. You're funny. Thank you guys so much for the super chats tonight. You people are amazing. And I am going to start posting more altcoins. Get ready. If Bitcoin can hold these levels, go sideways, it's going to get quite interesting. My instincts tell me that the bigger time frames are going to prevail no matter how good these time frames look. We're going to lose and fold over. But to be honest, we're at a tough place. This is when it's really hard to call the market. I'm going to be honest. This is where I lay down and I tell you, I don't know anymore. We're a bit extended. I mean, I got to tell you that the odds are the daily's going to come back to the 21. If you keep shorting, I believe around here, you'll eventually win. That's not the best advice, right? And again, I don't plan on giving anyone financial advice, but my idea is like, you know, you may not get to the 200, you may get halfway there, but the 21's got to move. It's got to cross that 200, and price action likely is going to make its way back, right? I mean, that's the most likely scenario, folks. I gotta be honest with you. Harder for me to do. I'm more bullishly biased, so. Yep. I can't wait for the streams where we get the super chats all for the same one coin. Yep. And we know it's gonna rip. What about Michael Pa? Dude, Michael, come on. Where are you, Michael? Can we summon him? Let's go. Pa. We want Michael Pa. We want Michael Pa. You know, like, you think you just, like, you know, clap your heels 3 times and Michael Pa appears, you know? It's like, go, what is that? You know, Mary Poppins? You can get really far back in the 4-hour chart. Last time it took off just like that. It ripped up from the 21 flag. I know, we were going over that, actually. It was so extended and it still pumped. I feel like you either look at the daily and don't look at you. If you trade the daily, do not look at any other time frames. Like, I'd still be in my short. Just going sideways all night, right? I'm chopping myself over here. And I've traded so well, like I haven't chopped up, so it's kind of like I don't want to do it again. Wizard of Oz, the silver slippers, yeah. The summer of Pa. If we reach on the bottom of that channel, most likely we'll continue lower. We can really go far. Yeah, exactly. What about Michael Pa? Sam is the face of Bitcoin. Hey, that would be cool. Some would consider that, I guess. I mean, I'd be honored and flattered. I think that's Michael Saylor, though, to be honest. I can't really take his place. It would be quite pretentious to say anything else. Looks like you're pulling back on that daily. Oh, last Saturday night was lit, right? I was bugging out with the if coin. It was crazy. They were silver. They changed them to the ruby in the movie. It's funny. The silver slippers in the book. Yeah, right? Future market refused to believe it. I just priced in the fast real time, but so did silver and gold. So it makes sense. Bitcoin caught the bid. Yes and no. Don't count your chickens too quickly. XRP, what's going on? I mean, it's Clarity Act, bro. What do you mean, what's going on? It's the banker's coin. They're getting their banks in order. Charters, you know what I mean? If coin is straight tanking, it's sad to see. It got, you know, couldn't hold up. They're just going to keep moving on to the next one. Man, my baby, if really. It could be double bottoming here for a massive move back up, though. Still kind of a bit of an uptrend there, just barely, but still, slight trend. I mean, it is still an uptrend there. Loses that, then it's going to bounce even lower, though, sad to say. Chainlink looks good to me. I want to see it bounce here and consolidate for a little bit, but it looks like it would be a nice swing from here back up to the top of the channel at 1237. Sam, what's the episode dropping? On what? I probably said something I don't remember about something. My theory is Michael Paul's another YouTube crypto guy that goes live. He just hits it big and then spends the love since it all goes around. So it could be like could it be Jason Casper, crypto face by a different name on the low? I've always thought it could be. And they would never fully reveal. That would be the whole point, to never tell anybody. You'd have to be that cool about it. Yeah. This also could have been a sailor finally reassuming his bid. We would not know until the next Monday announcement. Somebody bought a lot of Bitcoin, I'll tell you that. Someone with a lot of money bought a lot of BTC. That's facts. 100% facts. I always wonder, I went a whole day. It was and I always wonder, I get a little bit of anxiety every day. You know why? During the weekend streams, I get anxiety around 6 p.m. and it's pre-show anxiety. And you'd say, but Sam, you've been doing it for so long. How is that possible? Because I talk for 2 hours, and I'll be honest, I think there's always this fear that I'm going to run out of something to say. I never do, but there's some fear that I will. And then what if? What would happen to the show? Now, right now, I'm talking about never running out of something to say. That's something worth talking about, which is crazy because that's what you're afraid of doing. And it's funny. It's actually pretty funny. I was so afraid of running out of things to say that I talked about running out of things to say, and it worked. I had something to talk about. It's amazing, but I think there's something to that, right? So here's the deal. I've been between a long and a short for the last 10 to 12 hours, like most of the world. And I think we just got to use our brains and say that it's too far away on the daily to pump anymore. And it's just not going to happen. There's going to be too much short suppression, and there's too many late longs. You would never run out of something to talk about unless your chat sucks. But we're here and rooting for you, Sammy. That's true, too. I can always just read the chat. You know what I mean? And the chat is always doing its thing. Uno mas, Sammy. You're funny. Hey, whatever you want to do, man. Whatever makes you happy, brother. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Don't threaten me with a good time. So, look, I put out Pump here. Wanted to go a little more sideways. Looked like Pump was going to go all the way to 0042. Went even higher. And it's up there 100% now, holding gains of 91% for Pump. Another call that I gave to the channel. Remember, it was Pump, Solana Hype, right? There was like 3 coins that I thought looked good enough to play games with. And that was about it. Only long to the moon, baby. I know, right? That's how I feel. I don't like to short BTC. But, you also can't get emotional about it. So who cares what it is? It's just a trade. It's money, man. Is there any way to verify that I think it's the furthest from the daily 21 that life has been, at least in years? Yeah, I mean, you could go back and just kind of use the replay tool and, use a bit of a ratio idea. You could, and have 2 charts open, one on each screen. You could see a bit. You can make that judgment. When is the Brad Leia interview dropping? Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing. We're not sure exactly, but we will have dates. Make it happen, Captain. Another $100 super chat, everyone. If you want to join the trading group and you think you got what it takes to be a lifer, put a 9999, 3 nines in the chat. I want to see triple nines like this. Let me show you how to do it. You're going to go like this. You're going to go 999. All right. You can write a message. I am the one, but you got to have that 999 there, right? But it's better off just 999. It keeps the chat going. You don't have to do anything else. So just put a 999 if you want to in on the trading group with me. That means you would have got all the calls this week. You would have got any altcoin that I'm looking at when I start doing my deep dive scans, which are coming very, very soon for altcoins, including the weekly screen share that's private with everybody inside the trading group. Wow. And Mike's got this thing ripping yet again. Chat rate's at 13 right now. Watch this. 13. Just a quiet little 13, right? 4,500 views already. Wow, we're ripping tonight, folks. 4,500 beautiful souls around the world, you know, click that button and said, hey. They watch for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. You never know. Shout out to Alien. Shout out to God is Love. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Oh my gosh, this chat is starting to rip up again. And here we go. Again, we're going to give away a 1-month subscription to the trading group if you jump on in. Shout out to the 777s from God is Love 333. Oh yeah, you gotta like, yeah baby, yeah baby. I gotta make that better though. I gotta put it on another channel somehow. 9999999 162 on the chat rate. Can we get it back to 1,000? That would be crazy. I don't know. That was the craziest I've ever seen it. It's ripping though to the upside again. This is nuts. Bitcoin back at 77,350. It's just gonna sit here in limbo. I get it. I know what I'm gonna do. I figured it out, folks. I'm going to give up being perfect on the short. I'm just going to put what I'm willing to lose on the long and go to sleep. That's it. That's it. But I feel like but then I'm being pulled in when I know the dailies do. I can't seem to make up my mind. It's kind of crazy. It happens sometimes as a trader. You just can't seem to figure it out. Well, you know what it is I have good trader instincts, and usually I'm in when I know. So if I'm going back and forth like this, it's telling me that something's not right. And that's actually what I should be listening to. Also, I'm using fear because I have fear of missing out, of not being able to show a gain tomorrow. That's fear, right? I can't use fear. Forget about it. Forget about it over here. You know, I like this name here, Zenny Blanco. It's cool. I can bring positivity. He says, I like it. I like it. Zenny, send us an email, bro. Zenny Blanco. It's cool, like Benny Blanco, but Zenny Blanco. Benjamin Blanco, Zenny Blanco. What up, dude? Oh, and you like Jadakiss too, man, from 13 years ago? Okay, you might. I understand you then. Me and Jada go back. I know Jadakiss. Like, we met on numerous occasions. He gave me his phone number, no lie. Like, people don't have to believe it. I don't really care. It's a fact, though. Strike me dead if I'm lying. Nice little falling wedge. Can we bounce back to the upside here, back to the top of the channel? 77,500 for Bitcoin. That's what we need. Otherwise, this is just trashito. Trashito. It's almost like cat ears, or it's almost like, I mean, you had this Adam and Eve, which looks like a bigger, it could almost. El gato. No, I don't. It's tough to tell, folks. Only time will tell. What are you guys doing? Let's see. I'm going to ask a poll and just see what the lifers are doing. I'm not the only one, right? It obviously is tough. Think about it. It's been pumping straight for months. I'm like, how come I don't know exactly what to do? I have all the answers all the time. It's tough when you feel like you're a genius for weeks, and then one day you just sit there like, not really sure. You know what I mean? You kind of sit there and you're just like, you're just... God bless y'all. Stay alert and stay safe. Thank you. Only you could prevent forest fires. I know, right? I feel you. RNS Digital ID. How do I get that? Just go to PalauID.com or, Google Palau ID, RNSID.com. Go to RNSID. That's how you get it. Get it. Now, look, it's looking weak again. 157, losing the Sauso. Not looking strong. It's looking loose. So you short on the daily or you long on the one. The daily is probably the best bet here. I just can't seem to make up my mind. Remember, dumping at the beginning isn't bad, though. 2-3 hours of dump. This turns into a huge candle, and we end up being just... And then that 1 hour goes on a massive tear, and it's like, dude, I knew it. They were going to flatten the shorts. I'll have to be honest. What's the most likely scenario? Is the most unlikely scenario. Everyone believes we're going to dump because we're too overextended, so everyone's going to short. So it's unlikely that we're going to go down because everyone is short. You see? Are you long or short Bitcoin? Or nada? Are you long, short, or nada? You know what I mean? Probably a bunch of nadas. But we'll see. Are you long, short, or nada on Bitcoin? Okay, are you long or short or nada? Oh, I did write Bitcoin, yeah. Start that poll, let's see. So there, did it again, right? Every hour and a half, see? Or like every 40 minutes or something. It like disconnects and connects. And because it's USB, it gives you that sound like you pulled your mouse out the computer, Yeah. It's good. I'm just tracking it. I'm like, it's good that I'm sitting here listening. So 77, 283, off of the lower trend line. I want to see it get tight here. I'm telling you, man, this has been one of the most difficult times for me to like figure out whether to go long or short. It's weird. It's got a little more, it's got a lot of liquidity down there. Like, look at that, but it's got a little more red. Just a tad more. $78 is hot, but it's almost like that's all we might get. You never know. After what I just saw last week, like, my brain is kind of warped, right? Because I'm like, I nailed it, but I only nailed it because I stayed simply doing what I always do. Like, my logical brain didn't believe anything that I was putting out. Like, like half my brain was like, dude, how are you telling people the long right now? You're out of your mind. Next morning, we'd wake up, no stop loss. I was like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Then at the end of the week, I started like drinking my own Kool-Aid. Thought I was like a genius. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, what's going on? Like, I was fed so much euphoric and just making that much money too feels good, So I buttered my own biscuit so much this week, and now I'm just like, wow. I'm being honest, because this is when you talk about your emotions, because all of us traders go through this, no one talks about it. No one talks about how good you feel when you win. You feel good when you win. I don't care who you are. Especially you make like anywhere over 2 to 3, 4 grand in a day, you're gonna feel good about it. I don't care how rich you are, man. That's an accomplishment, especially it's something you've been working at every day. That's an accomplishment. When I win leverage trading, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Like, I got what is mine. Like, you try to take everyone out the game, and I'm still getting it in, right? Right there again on the 200, as if it's like, you see how insane this has been? This is why the 200s just do what they do. This is why I put so much effort into paying attention to where they're at. Look how this is nuts. Wow. Almost looks like shoulder, head, and like a twisted head and shoulder pattern, right? Oh yeah, these like I didn't start the poll, even though I made the poll. It's great. Are you long or short Bitcoin or nada? Let me know. Want to see what people are saying. I got this FOMO. I got this fear of missing out that if I don't get into this long, it's gonna rip all night. I'm gonna wake up and Bitcoin's gonna be at 81, and I'm gonna be like, I knew it. It's almost worth the pain of getting stopped out yet again, right? To go for the win. But then I also know that the daily looks like complete, way extended. Well, we did open the daily with a bit of a... Now we got a bottom wick, finally, which is what you're looking for if we get a green candle on the daily. So it is acting as... It's at the... we're getting the beginnings of what you're looking for. If it was the other way around, it would be great. Now here we are again, below the 200 now, getting bearish. 30-minute could come to the 200. That's the area you would be looking for price action to come to right here. 75.5 for Bitcoin. And then this would be kind of a double top. Measured move takes you, the length of this somewhere here, basically to this area. With that high volume, that little, 72K, 72.5. There's that Bear City now. Eight minutes. You don't want to close below the 200. Really, that's what begins the pain if it does happen. That's about the dump, right? I mean, that's a descending triangle that's about to let go, I feel like. Let's do that like bong. And it's just going to go and dump on all the longs. Anyone who traded the flag, right? Just... I don't sound like someone that didn't just get stopped out, do I? They're going to get you now. You ever feel like that? You got stopped out? You want everyone else like, no, it's like, I'd actually want people to win, but it is. It's like, hey, they're going to get you. Can this get a bounce, or is this going to get uglier? Interesting. Oh my God. Did it break? Oh, I hit the start poll button 3 times. It just didn't go or something. Look, an error occurred. Oh, that's why. I know I sent the poll. All right, so we're playing games. All right, another time. Well, I'm not going to stress it right now. I don't know why it's doing that, though. Then watch. They're going to shoot this back up. It's going to bounce. Anyway, we got to take a look at what's happening on the week ahead, too. Sorry. I'm a little winded today. I'm going to get back into perfect action. I'm doing pretty good, though, right? Could be, had worse shows. All right. Today is the 23rd. Monday is the 24th. Okay, nothing happening. Treasury Secretary Bezin speaks. He's been pretty dovish. So I like when he opens his mouth. Quantitative easing all day long there. Tuesday. Nothing crazy that I see happening. New home sales, Richmond Manufacturing Index, but nothing crazy. Wednesday, core PCE price index and preliminary GDP quarter over quarter and price index quarter over quarter. That's going to, put some ripples in the market at 8:30 Wednesday. And then Thursday, unemployment claims. All right, so core PCE. All right, that's the first thing we got coming our way. Then we got unemployment. And then Friday is Fed Chairman Warsh does speak at 10 a.m. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll have heavy volatility and some action that moves the market for sure. So get ready for that. If you're excited, I am. I like when Kevin speaks. It's nice not having to listen to Jerome Powell anymore. I'm being honest. God bless him, you know, no worries there. It's just, you know, I love a changing of the guard. I love something new. And Kevin also is a breath of fresh air for me personally, but you know, maybe not for everybody, but I like it. I like what he does, man. I like what he's into. All right. And I believe he is the right man for the job, but you never know. We'll see what happens, right? I'm not an elitist. It is an upper echelon party that they're in up there. He holds crypto, though. Doesn't he hold like 100 million in crypto or something crazy? He's like, the guy's loaded too. I mean, these people are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're not just worth like 10 million. They're worth like 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, you know. I mean, bear div, lower high, I feel like this is going to dump on you. I feel like with high accuracy, it's going lower. But every time I say that, it doesn't, so. I might bow today and say, hey, whatever happens, you know, it's like, I don't know over here. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. It might make another right shoulder. That's pretty bearish engulfing what just happened there, though. Looks like it could head lower for sure. All right. There's the implosion there for Bitcoin. How are we looking on those small time frames? Yeah, below the 200 now. On the 5-minute time frame, which it had kind of a cup and handle that could have changed the guard there. And most things are going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin takes a tumble, you know, they're all going to pull back. So you really want to be interested in what Bitcoin's doing. I don't care how many altcoins you love, you got to watch your Bitcoin. All right. Same thing with ETH. It's, you know what I mean? It's likely going to pull back. A pump like that has a pullback almost at 99% of the time. If this pulls back, it'll just be what it's supposed to do. I'm going to do nothing for now, even though I'm like edging to get into a long. I'm going to do nothing for now. Maybe if it bounces out on retests, 78,000, I'll long. How's that? If this somehow breaks out and I get any type of flag here and I get in above that area, fine. If it breaks down, then I, you know, maybe do nothing or I do short. So that's my solution. If I see us get above 78,000 and retest it, I'm going to long. I like that plan. It keeps me kind of level-headed there. All right. Let me jump back into the chat for a split second here. Okay. The last Bitcoin traded this far or further above its 20-way was November 224. Price stretched 17 to 23% above the 21 May. Multiple daily closes, peak reading 23 on November 10th. What happened after that, though? Right. I guess I go, look, I personally want Bitcoin to get a nice pullback so I can buy more. Who doesn't? I'm longing, Sammy. The chart's scaring it out of me. I know, right? Do you... Any other inspiring figures that Jim Rohn? Yeah, I mean, James, what is that guy? Someone told me he used to watch Wayne Dyer. That guy's pretty cool, man. D-Y-R-E, like Wayne Dyer. This guy's pretty awesome. All right. American self-author and motivational speaker. Dyer earned a bachelor's degree in history and philosophy and a master's degree in psychology and an ED in guidance and counseling at Wayne State. Early in his career, worked as a high school guidance counselor, went on to run a successful private therapy practice. He became a professor of counselor education at St. John's University, where he was approached by a literary agent. Yeah, that's where I went, in Queens, too. So isn't that funny? He became a popular professor of counselor education at St. John's. I'm trying to think, did I know him when he went there? It's funny, I didn't know Wayne Dyer was at St. John's. He might have been there when I was there. Anyway, he's known around the internet as an amazing speaker. You know Wayne Dyer? Yeah. Plus, another guy is Bob Proctor, right? This guy's amazing too. right? Bob Proctor is amazing, right? New Thought self-author, right? New Thought self-help author and business owner. He was best known for his New York Times best-selling book, right? You Were Born Rich, see? And being a contributor, because it's like he's all about your mind, man. He's a big contributor to The Secret. He believes your law of attraction creates your lifestyle. And that anyone, you know, you can have two people that work really hard, but someone that thinks and manifests will have a bigger life and a more abundant life, right? He claimed that having a poor self-image and little ambition as a child, after graduating 8th grade, he enrolled at Danforth Tech, but dropped out a couple months later. After a bandslide inflicted his thumb, injury left him with no plans for the future. It was dangling there. It still hurts. That's 60 years ago. In his autobiography, he described that after dropping out of school, he held a number of odd jobs. In his own words, dumb jobs like factories, gas stations, you know, changing tires, lubricating cars, changing oil. I did anything that came along. For a while, he served as a sailor in the Canadian Royal Navy, solely on shore duty, claiming to have been on a ship during his Navy service. I've never been on a ship. However, in the early 1960s, he's working on Toronto Fire Department when a man named Raymond Douglas Stanford shared the book Think and Grow Rich with him. And I have this book here, man. And I talk about it all the time by Napoleon Hill. Soon afterward, Proctor claimed his life started to change as the book shifted. It really, the same. I'm going to kind of cry, man. Like, I started reading the book in the bathtub in Queens. I would take a big bath. I like to take baths, and I would light the candles, you know, read a book in the bathtub. But I did, man. And I started reading the book about a guy. His son was deaf in the book, and his son looked like he wasn't going to have a future. His son ended up working for like an ear company and ended up like improving like the, you know, the way they, and he actually ended up learning how to hear like through like vibration. He got better and he trained his ears, and they, like, the doctor said it was never going to happen, but they did it through like, it was crazy, man, through like vibration and him looking at his dad, and he just showed like they actually defied what the doctors told them with their own thought and processes and beliefs. And anyway, but You Were Born Rich in The Secret. Yeah, he claimed to have joined the Nightingale Content Organization. Yeah, Earl Nightingale too is one of the first people that like became known as a publisher in this type of field, right? And there's not many people like us. Like, we're like, I guess, you know, you have to learn this from someone. Like I learned it, like Jim Rohn, right? Then you have to live it, and then you have to run you run your own business to prove to people that it works, right? You can't just, the only business can't be the business of just selling, you know, like talking. But eventually you get so good and you do help so many people. People will pay you $100,000 just to go anywhere and to talk, right? That's the plan, is you get to travel the world, you get paid tons of money to spread your light, and you actually do have real ways to help people, right? I'm not there yet. I'm still perfecting, like, but I've seen myself maybe when I'm 70 years old doing that, right? Like, I'll have showed people how to make millions of dollars with trading. I'll have the legacy of the YouTube channel, and I'll still have this desire, this inner desire to help other people, right? Through his material, Proctor aimed to have the reader tap into their inner self. He suggested the reader's inner self controls all that is brought into their life, and that a bad self-image, which is called a paradigm, will lead to poor results, and even among those with adequate knowledge and abilities. I was super smart. I wasn't the ugliest guy in the world. I was talented in many things that I did, but I had a negative self-image of who I was. I talked down to myself all the time. You're never going to make it. Why would that happen to you? And so there was no what if there. It was always, no, it's not going to. And so what do you think happened to me? A lot of not going to's, a lot of disappointments, a lot of pain. And then I felt the pain as if it wasn't me doing it. And I went through all the ups and downs of it. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of psychotic, right? And when I think back, it's like, damn, my subconscious mind was hijacked. Like, I thought I was this confident, amazing person, but obviously my bank account did not reflect that. And that hurt. You know, you can say whatever you want. You can lie to yourself all you want. When you go to the ATM and you have to think about every dollar you spend because there's nothing in there. And that was me for a long, long time. You know? Week by week, like, barely saved money. And then at one point I was like, I got to start saving, or I'm going to have anything. There's the dump, folks. In my humble opinion, there is that dump. Now, Daly's going to make its way back to that 21-day moving average at one point. Scary thing is we don't have a bit of a wick to the upside now. So, like, now I'm the opposite guy. Like, we should have pumped first so I could have, a little bit of a wick. But if it was a little bigger, it would be a little better. So, look, I'd be in the money now had I done that short, right, and stayed in it. I'm gonna short and stick to it and go to sleep. And never flip flop so much. But you can see how difficult it is for me to figure out exactly what's happening. I think that's cool for you to see. Sometimes I'm like, I'm in and I don't even think about it. This time I had to really spend a few hours on it. I couldn't just hit the button and lock in. It was like 68, 049. Stop loss 76, 729. And look, I'm messing up. Take profit 68. And I don't think we're going to go to 68.49. But you know what? Actually would be a really healthy place. Because we'd blast through all the 70s again. We'd dip down to where we were before, but we'd never go near 65. If we make a high of 68, that's going to be really good. We'll get back to the 21 on the daily. We need to get back to the 21 on the daily for some healthy price action. We can't be this far away. Whether you're this far away in the downside or to the upside, it's extreme. When you're extreme, you got to get back. So, stop will be 79, 729. To me, that flag has likely broken down now. We did pretty good. And it's going to go down, what? About $7,000. So I should make $7,000 on that. But if I go half my risk, I'll make $3,000. All right, 3,300. So my risk is lighter than I'd like it to be. But hey, it's better than nothing. I'll make some money on a day trade there. Oh, see, open the short. Yeah. You don't open a long. See, I tell people that's why you demo trade, right? So there, I'm going to sit there on that, and I'm not going to look at the other. I'm not playing games again, all right? I'm either going to get stopped out tomorrow, you're going to see it, or we're going to make some money. All right? And that's it. I'm moving on. So there you go. There you have it. Oof. It looks really ugly on the 5-minute time frame. I didn't even get a chance to look at that. That looks like it's not coming back. But you never know. It might bounce right back. You never know. I'm not going to look at it anymore. I'm going to let that chill. I'm going to jump out here for the night. It's 10 p.m. We did another one all the way to 10. That's how you know. You know, when we were live, I was doing 8 to 9, but it's back. It's back, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and being absolutely amazing. Let me take a look at the super chats just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I am quite exhausted, though. Let me see here. Shout out to the new people that joined the group through Michael Voner, through Mike Percy's beautiful, awesome donations. Thank you. As I learned from my mom, it's not charity, it's love. Never need for a thanks, but I love all my fellow humans. Thank you. We love you, man. Shout out to William Vidalin. Uno mas, Sammy. Wow. Thank you for being awesome. Yep. Thanks for what you do. Hey, Sammy, you pay me every donate to hook up. Yep. Wow. Send a super chat to ask about it. Send more super chats. Your God sent CL. You keep us alive in this climate. It's brutal. God bless you, man. Mr. E-Box, you're so nice. Bitcoin Bill, you're amazing. Michael, I don't know why. Best in the song. And wow. So nothing was an ask. We missed nothing. Just awesome super chats. You people are amazing. Let me see what that is. Stream settings. $302.97. 2 for people to get in their group too. That's amazing. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. May God bless you all for jumping on in. Without you, there is no show. This is getting amazing. To get this much viewership on the Saturday and Sunday nights is getting me really hyped for the week. So I love you all. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. We're going to blast our socks off and get it going and see what happens. I do barefoot trading every day. I love you all. Thank you so much. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I have no words of true gratitude that I could really say, but know that I am so thankful every single day and so grateful to have my channel and have each and every one of you in my beautiful community. God bless you all. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.